No one noticed it at first. Gravity doesn't vanish like a switch flipping off. It fades, quietly, slowly. On the first day, people blamed coincidence. A pen rolling farther than it should. A glass tipping, not falling, but drifting, just for a second. A jump that felt lighter. Scientists called it sensor error. Governments stayed silent, but the planet already knew, because gravity isn't just a force, it's a promise, and that promise was breaking. By week 1, the human body notices. You feel lighter walking upstairs. Your feet don't hit the ground as hard. Your balance feels off, like the world is subtly tilted. Athletes break records overnight. Old people feel young again. Social media fills with videos, people jumping higher, objects floating for a heartbeat before landing. Children laugh until they don't come back down the way they should. Airplanes struggle to land. Satellites drift off course. The moon pulls differently. The Earth is loosening its grip, and nobody knows why. Gravity weakens by fractions. But fractions change everything. At 90% gravity, life continues. At 80%, muscles weaken faster. At 70, bones lose density. At 60% gravity, the human body begins to fail. And worse, gravity doesn't just hold you down, it holds the oceans, the atmosphere, the soil, the rain. Water doesn't obey hope. As gravity weakens, the oceans swell unnaturally. Waves stretch taller, reaching impossible heights. Ocean spray doesn't fall back down. It drifts, creating a permanent, salty fog along the coasts. Eventually, the sea starts to lift. Massive clouds of mist rise into the sky, pulling entire ecosystems with them. Rain stops falling properly. Storms don't move. They hover, dumping all their moisture in one place until it too evaporates upward. Fish begin floating near the surface, confused and disoriented. Ships lose contact with the water entirely, becoming stranded on dry land or lifted into the air. Fresh water becomes chaos. Rivers spill their banks, not sideways, but upward. Lakes evaporate into the air. Glaciers break free and float like silent, ghostly mountains. Finding water becomes a nightmare because it won't stay where you left it. At 50% gravity, the air itself changes. not staying put. A strong gust of wind can lift a person off their feet. The rules of life rewrite themselves. People stop living tall. Everything moves underground or inward. Homes are anchored deep into the bedrock. Cities are connected with massive cables. People wear weighted suits just to do their grocery shopping. Magnetic boots become as common as sneakers. Children are tied to furniture. Sleeping requires straps to keep you from floating into the ceiling. Roots with no clear down to seek spread in chaotic directions. Trees bend sideways, their branches reaching for a sun in a world without orientation. So humans adapt. Hydroponics become the dominant form of agriculture. Giant rotating farms are built to simulate gravity. Anchored soil beds are tended to by workers in weighted harnesses. Animals suffer tremendously. Livestock float, unable to stand or eat. Birds can't land. Fish lose all sense of depth. Meat disappears from the global diet. Protein becomes synthetic, grown in labs. Every single calorie is calculated because the biggest enemy isn't hunger. It's drifting away forever. It happens quietly. Someone jumps too hard, showing off. Someone trips near a cliff edge. Someone forgets to clip on their weight harness. They don't fall, they rise. At first, rescue drones chase them. Ropes are thrown, hands reach out. But as gravity keeps weakening, the rescues become impossible. Eventually, people just float beyond reach, screaming until the thinning air can no longer carry the sound. Humanity watches its dead leave the planet. Graveyards disappear. Bodies aren't buried anymore. They ascend. The moon, our constant companion, begins to drift away. Our satellites escape their orbits, becoming lost specks in the void. Earth becomes a memory of what it once was. Humanity has one final choice: leave or anchor forever. Massive underground habitats are completed, cities buried deep within the planet's crust. Artificial gravity machines, a colossal drain on energy, power these new homes. Humanity becomes a species that lives inside its planet. The surface becomes a floating graveyard, a museum of a lost world. They walk with cables, tethered to a world that no longer wants them. All of it floating in a slow, silent dance. And humans did what they always do. They changed. They let go of the sky. They held on to each other. They learned that sometimes, to survive, you don't fight the fall. You learn how to live when nothing holds you down anymore. So, if gravity disappeared tomorrow, would you rise, or would you anchor yourself to what matters? Thanks for watching. If you found this journey thought-provoking, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to join us on our next exploration.